You've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. How much are you willing to suffer?
My name's Tom Gibbs and I'm the new records payout holder for E8 Markets.
How's your flight?
Mate, it was a little bit turbulent.
Same. There's this, you know, the increased turbulence at the moment is due to all these air pockets. So it's been a lot. Right? Yeah.
So, do you know what we're doing here?
No idea. I'm looking forward to seeing Elle. It's been a while, but
When did you last see him?
probably been like over a year now.
Did he say 2J?
Yeah, 2J, I think. I believe.
Yeah.
Is this us?
Yeah. Yeah, there he is.
Man, like Elliot.
You're right, mate.
Yo.
How you doing?
Long time no see.
You're sick.
I'm not well.
Okay.
Wow, man. How are you? You right?
Alright, good.
Mate, what are we doing here?
Let me take your bags. Go around the front of the car to get in.
Yeah.
Just hand me those. I need to start with coffee.
Mate.
I really need to start
All
with
right.
coffee.
Fair enough, man.
All right. I'm hungry as well. I'm hungry as well.
Ken needs a coffee. You always do.
Desperate.
Just jump in.
All right.
So, good?
Yeah.
Elliot, you're going to tell us what we're doing here?
I will do, mate. Let's get a coffee first.
Elle, where are we going? What are we doing today, my man? I've got quite a lot on at the moment. I'll just, it'd be good to know what the crack
Alright,
is.
Yeah, you're a busy man, mate, aren't we all? We get it. No, today will help prove that you can get it wrong more times than you get it right and still come out ahead. So it's a really special day. I'm really excited.
Riddle.
It's a riddle. It's a riddle for you guys to work on.
I have a feeling, with you saying that, I have a feeling that we're going to go see a trader today.
Yeah.
We will be seeing a trader today.
And I can tell that he lives in the countryside because it's 2.5 hours away from London.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if it's the countryside, but it's certainly a place where you wouldn't expect to find what we're going to see, unless you're in a community of people where you're in the same place. Everyone's quite spread out. You don't really get a chance to meet people that are doing the same thing as you until you get into some sort of communities online. And you know, obviously, like at E8, we have the Discord and we have some events that we're doing to highlight the community aspect of things, and they're great because this is a prime example. You know, you're going 2.5 hours away from London, and a lot of people don't actually know anyone else in their town that trades. You know, there might not be people that trade, right?
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful, really, because, you know, obviously, I don't know. Well, we're clearly going up towards the north of the country. Maybe not north. I don't know which direction we're going. East, south, west.
I think we're going south now.
Okay, it doesn't matter. My thinking is, like, I love the way that we're moving away from the times when, for me, many years ago when I got into the city, there's obviously the polished trader is in London, right? That's where you had to be, in London. And I don't know, if we are going to meet a trader and we're going somewhere 3 hours plus away from London, you know, this is beautiful. This is the way we're heading. We're just, like, traders these days, we're so remote. It's so remote and so accessible, is my point. You don't have to be going into the city in an office. So if we are going to visit a trader somewhere, I mean, cool. I mean, that just reinforces what I'm saying.
We all know what this journey is like. It's a performance sport. This journey is a performance sport, right? And it's about repetition, discipline, and the process more than anything else. And it also signifies a start, a new thing within E8. So it's a really, really exciting day. So these guys don't actually know it yet, but today we are going to see Tom, who has broken the record payout in E8. And last night I spoke to him about coming today to come and see him, and I told him I'd get some Tanfastics, so we're going to go and get some Tanfastics. You never know how much Tanfastics are going to be in a station. And I need squashes. I need drumstick squashes. So we're going to go. I'm going to tell the guys what we're doing. It's a very exciting day, not only because of the payout that he's receiving, but because of the process that he's been through, and his stats are amazing. So we're going to get them to go through the stats, understand the guy's journey a bit, and it really highlights what can be done in a simulated environment. Let's go here, man. Let's pay for this. Go on. What's this way? Do you want anything, mate? Okay. Oh, I've not got my fucking wallet with me.
What'd you forget?
Huh?
What'd you forget?
I forgot my wallet. It's in the car, and I've got no signal to do the thing. I'm going to try it. Oh, it's worked. Okay. I'm gonna invoice him for his own Tanfastic. Such a big payout. And I promise, when we go to the car, I will reveal all. We can get on the same page. Now that we've had a coffee. Have you ordered a coffee?
Yeah, mocha, right?
No, I'm okay, man. I don't need it. Too much.
You can order now.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Great, I'll have a mocha, thanks.
What? Nice. Record payout holder.
So this guy has done, so if you see here, the record payout holder.
$216,053.13.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man. What's his name?
Tom Gibbs.
This is now the highest payout in EA history.
Right.
This guy has done more. He's withdrawn 80k recently. On Monday, he made another 20k. But what's really, really interesting is his stats, the growth of his account and how he's managed to grow into this level.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you want to see from a trader. What I'd love you to do now is we're going to call Dylan, the CEO,
Amazing.
and he's going to run you through some stats and we're going to see them because they're really cool.
Hey Joel.
Hey man, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. So we've just got into the car with Elliot and he's shown us a massive check in the boot for a trader called Tom, who's just requested a payout of $216,000.
Thomas Gibbs. I'm actually looking at his stats right now.
Yes, Thomas Gibbs, yeah. What was his statistics?
So on his current account, his win ratio was 44%. His risk to reward was 3.64, bringing his average win to $17,752 and his average loss to $3,792.
Wow.
His initial account size was $400,000, and the account currently shows $656,000.
Goodness me. So when did he start trading then?
Tom has been trading with us since 2022, but this current account started April 8th, 2025.
All right, okay, so four years trading with us.
This is a great journey.
Yeah, this is incredible. And in the last, 3 months it's been, he requested this payout.
Yeah, he just requested this payout, but the crazy part is he's already withdrawn $81,000 over the 4 years, and he's only spent $8,000 since joining EA.
Goodness
This is
me.
a real case of consistency.
Goodness me, that's incredible. So 44% win ratio, I mean, I'm sure Ken's hearing this number as well and thinking, this is not a number that you would think such a big payout, like you could even get this size of a payout. I always thought, okay, traders, to get this payout, you have to be at least winning 60-70% of the time.
He only wins 44% of the time, but his winners are almost 4 times bigger than his losers, so being wrong doesn't hurt him.
Well, look, we're just in the car heading down to him now. I'm sure a lot of traders are going to learn from him and hopefully develop in their trading as well.
Yeah, guys, I can't wait to hear this story.
We'll let you know how it goes. Thank you, man. Speak soon.
Bye.
44% win ratio, and he received a payout of 200K. And Dylan said he already had done 80K. So that's 300K.
Do you remember when I said to you, today is going to show that, you know, not being right most of the time, you can still get ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. And the guy's stats from here and there, they're a really, really good example, like Dylan said, of the curve that you want to see. You know, it's that consistency. It's not just making like one flash payout and then, you know, just dropping off. He's withdrawn 80K over 3 years. He's had that curve and he's bought those accounts, and he's had, I think it's like 50 trades. So to even survive 50 trades on an account is great.
And I think, just hearing that 44% is actually really nice and refreshing. Why? Because this industry, like right now, is super freaking jaded off high win rate. You know, obviously when a lot of people come into this market, they're missold. You know, they're missold about trading, and they see, oh yeah, high win rate strategy, all this, and it's nonsense, right? What this, I have so many questions for this guy already. What this shows is an incredible amount of discipline, because he sits there and allows his edge to play out. You know, he is wrong most of the time, but when he is right, that shows obviously patience, discipline, and the excellent risk reward that he's using. Like most traders, the vast majority of traders would not be able to do what he's doing. It's just, you know, it's incredible.
But it goes back to that conversation we were having earlier about it being a mental sport, right? You know, he's clearly learned from the journey, clearly learned from having the guardrails in place, and he's been able to perfect his skills under these guardrails.
People will be looking, the vast majority of people as well, will be looking at that 44% and thinking something's wrong here. I need to get my win rate up. But it's not the case. It's not the case at all. You know,
I'd love to know, in terms of his support network, how that's affected him. You know, if he's been part of a community, or if he's had support from like fellow traders that he's been in touch with, and, you know, grown over the years. Because we all know, like, when you have a trading buddy, like Joel and I have spent years trading together and going back and forth, spending days on the calls together. Like through COVID, we were on the phone for probably like 70% of the day together. And that was a really tough period to get through.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think like having that network within people that do the same thing that you do is so valuable, because I think it's a key part.
I'm completely fascinated how he's able to sit and just not win the vast majority of time, you know, the vast majority, and allow, because obviously when we're trading as well, you know, the losing streaks we run into, right? Regardless of if you've got a high win rate system, you're still going to run into a losing streak. His losing streaks, I'll be interested to know how he deals with those. Like, he just must have utter faith and belief and determination in his edge and methodology.
One of my anchors for like going through losing trades or holding those things was getting on Forza with Joel.
Forza.
Yeah, jumping on and just driving McLarens around on Forza. And I'll be interested to know, like, what you're saying, Ken, is like, you know, he was able to hold those positions. Like his average win was 17K. So he was able to allow them to grow and play out how he saw them playing out. So I wonder if he was playing Forza as well. I don't know.
The thing is as well is with this obviously Simfi, he has, again, it just shows his level of emotional maturity, the fact that he hasn't gamified things, because you can clearly see, and he's not trying to just go all in, go balls deep on on some challenges. He's taking it properly. As Dylan said, it's been slow and steady and consistent. He's had those pullbacks. His equity curve, right, it looks regular, not irregular, irregular like this or like this. It's slow and steady. It has those pullbacks, and then he continues to push to the upside. So he's just got the right mindset, man.
At E8, we don't want to see traders that are going up, down, 100 lots on Euro USD. It's about building those consistent traders. It's about building the discipline. It's about building the consistency. And Tom is proof of that. He's proof that he's built consistency and done it in the right way, and in the way that the systems that are in place are supposed to teach a trader to do.
He is the prime athlete in trading. This is the prime example of success. I love it.
Yeah,
amazing.
Nice to see you, mate. I'm not very well.
That's all right, mate.
I'm going to do that. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
Mate,
How's
sorry
your
about-
drive?
It was alright. We were a bit late. We went out to South Plastic. But I have got some for you.
Hi Tom,
mate.
Ken, how you doing? Nice to meet you, buddy.
Good.
Yeah, good man. You?
Good. Excited.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
big. This is huge. Amazing.
Oh,
We actually haven't got any money for you.
that's
But we've
fine.
got some South Plastic.
That's all I wanted anyway.
How's your day going?
It's all right, actually.
Yeah.
Been pretty chilled. Just trying to sort of whoa.
Got something for you. This is presented to you, man.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. There you are.
Wow, thank you very much.
Congratulations,
It
man.
looks much bigger on a check, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
The record payout holder. 2026.
Do you reckon my missus would be annoyed if I put that on my lounge wall?
Nah. Nah.
There you go. That's good.
How do I make it look like I'm handing it over to him?
Amazing. Great.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Very much.
We've also got some other bits for you.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Another check. I'm
Oh.
joking.
Can we have a lift back? Because we're going to give him the card.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
Record holder. Go along. And then the t-shirt as well.
Thank you, Bill.
And a plaque.
Oh, nice one.
On top.
Thank you very much.
So,
Really
yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Am I starting?
Sorry?
Do you want me to start? Sorry.
Yeah. So we're just going to ask you a few questions. We're going to ask you a question about your upbringing. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like?
I think like anybody's really, it was pretty mixed. It was some good times, some not so good times. My parents split up when I was about 6 years old, so kind of moved around a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, I think had a lot of challenges when I was kind of a young teenager, but a lot of those kind of experiences, mainly the negative ones, kind of turned me into the person I am today. And I think often people look back at the good things and don't really think about, the bad stuff that happens. But I think in some ways for me, that was more important than the good stuff.
How did you actually get into trading?
It's a slightly long story, but essentially I was trying to find something that I was really passionate about and was trying out different things. And me and a friend of mine were meant to go traveling. And then he got diagnosed with leukemia. I went without him because he told me to go. And then unfortunately I had to come back after a couple of months because he got given a few weeks to live. So I came back and then obviously had to go through that with him. And then the aftermath of that was basically me then kind of even more driven to find something I wanted to do. And I was working a 9-to-5 job at the time and I hated it. And it was, it was one of those where I was like, I'm going to end up here for the rest of my life unless I find something. So I got that real sense of urgency to actually pursue something meaningful, or that I thought was meaningful. And then, so I saw one of those like trade signal adverts, like as this classic way of getting into it. And I was like, I was considering going traveling again. So I was like, oh, maybe this is some way to make some extra money. And I started doing it for a couple of weeks. And then after a little while, I was like, how do these people know like what you should and shouldn't be putting on? So I kind of looked into it, and then I ended up doing a course, which a lot of the time, you see all these courses online, but this one, like I actually kind of looked into the guy and saw kind of his background and things like that. And I did this course, and actually for the majority of it, it was really good. It actually gave me a lot of knowledge, and then kind of just took it on from there. Lost a lot of money. And then eventually got to E8, and that's probably where things, in all honesty, did change. The release of pressure of being able to kind of, even just going through the evaluation process and not having pretty much all of your money bent and set on every trade, not literally all of your money, but all of the money that I had at the time, just really then allowed me to like kind of develop and actually released a lot of pressure, which was massively important.
So when you first began trading, did you tell people in your circle that you started trading?
Yeah, so obviously so when I started trading, within a couple of weeks, well, not a couple of weeks, probably about a month of doing this course, I was like, right, this is what I want to do. And like I said, I hated my job at the time, and I had some money saved up from obviously cutting my traveling short. And then I had a bonus payout from my job. So I quit my job. So then everyone was like, oh, why have you quit your job? And then I told them what I was doing, which had a mixed reaction. Mostly because they didn't understand what it was, really. I mean, the classic response I got was Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belford, that kind of thing. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's not what I'm doing.
Would you say that they were supportive?
I think they were very supportive at first because they were like, oh, that'd be great. But then obviously these things take so long, it kind of fades. And for me, I kind of, obviously because of what had happened with my friend, I feel like, when people pass away, you're kind of left with this almost like gallon of fuel, and most people use it in like a more negative way, and they try and like kind of numb themselves. And so all of my mates were kind of getting on the bag and, and going out all the time and just, dealing with it that way. Whereas I went actually like, I was just very aware of, time was cracking on, and, no one knows how long they're going to be here. So I used that fuel that I had to put it into my trading, and basically kind of not separated myself, but just took a step back from them, so when I did that, then the enthusiasm for what I was doing then dipped massively. And then it kind of comes in waves. It's, they've always been supportive to a degree. It's just, I think, we live in England where we have a massive piss-taking culture. So it's quite an easy thing to take the piss out of somebody when they're not when they're not making money and they're skint all the time and having to go through this process. That wasn't everybody, that was just a few people. Like there were some people who I'd meet up with regularly, and they'd always ask me about it and take an interest in it, even though they had no idea what I was talking about, which was great because, this could be a really lonely process, trying to learn something that's, especially like, I live in Devon, like the biggest city is Exeter, which is smaller than a lot of towns in the UK are much bigger than Exeter as a city. So it hasn't really got that sort of business trading background, not really. So it can be quite a lonely process. And so that was good from those few people who kind of let me vent a lot.
Were there points where you wanted to give up?
If anybody turns around and says, oh no, I was never going to give up, I always thought I was going to do it, like, they're lying. Because the difference is you just don't give up, even if you want to, which, I remember I got I think it was my second time I'd got a SimFi account. I think the first one I'd blown through really quickly, and I got the second SimFi account, and it was around the time you guys did a tournament, and I came 16th in this tournament. So I got a free evaluation for a 100 grand account, I think it was, which was like amazing. I was like, wow, like I'm in a really good position. I passed the first phase, and I was like, okay, like I'm almost at this point where I'm going to have a 6-figure account, because the other account I had was for $25,000 or 18 grand. And then I couldn't get through the second phase, and it was just so soul destroying, because I was so close. And and that was really difficult. That was probably a bit of a low, but then I just kind of took some time off, and only a couple of weeks, and then I was like, right, okay, well, we got to that point. We've done really well in this tournament. There's all these positives. Need to kind of get back up on the horse and go again.
So now that you've had this breakthrough, how are you planning to avoid complacency?
So for me, it's a case of just, my biggest thing with all of this is psychology. Like I kind of almost see it like as the gym, where people are like, 80% of it's diet and 20% of it's actually lifting. For me, with trading, 20% of it's the actual trading, 80% of it is your psychology. So and that's one of the big things I think in the last kind of 12 months that I've really handled much better and really taken a focus on. So for me, it would just be doing the same sort of things. Like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But at the same time, and one of the reasons I think I've got to this point is because I'm constantly trying to evaluate the way I work and making sure that it's efficient. So if there are any things that I can improve on, then I'll try and have a look at that. But I won't necessarily change my strategy or do anything like that immediately. It will just be, you know, take my time and actually kind of continuing. I mean, it's different for me now because before I was working 9 to 5 alongside this, whereas now I've just quit my job because now I can. So first of all, it'll be trying to manage a schedule and working out what to do with like all this extra time and the best way to optimize that, and then going from there, maybe looking at a few other strategies in terms of something slightly different, but at the same time still keeping the core strategy I have and that's got me to this point. That's kind of my bread and butter for everything going forward, I think.
How did you get to a point where you've stopped doing these mistakes?
I think it's experience. I think it's kind of after a while you have to you have to kind of just accept that you can't force things and rush things. I think in the past, I think a big part of it was when I was first started trading. Obviously, I'd quit my job, so I had all this extra pressure on me. So I was, always trying to make sure I was making profitable trades and making money, especially was on my own account before I was doing any E8 stuff or prop trading at all. And I think that extra pressure doesn't allow you to be patient. So then, what was it, 2023? Yeah, end of 2023, I went and one of my mates is a builder, and so I started working in construction with him. Before that, couldn't put together IKEA furniture, and then I was doing all this different stuff for construction. I was working for him on and off with COVID, but solidly got back to working full time for him for about 6 months, and then just did my trading on the side, and then ended up actually getting a full-time job in accountancy because I thought that would kind of go well with my trading, always with the vision of doing trading full time. But it just allowed me to then have a settled paycheck, which I knew was coming in every month, which then allowed me to look into different ways of trading and just take the pressure off of needing to get a win every week or every 2 weeks, and once I'd relieved that pressure, I think that plus the experience, the patience just kind of came naturally. And I think that it was kind of just that combination that just allowed me to then take my time. And also, obviously, as I said, like the experience, and I've done a lot of back testing, months and months of manually doing it myself because that's just how I prefer it. So I've spent countless hours in front of these charts, and then I can look back at the results, and then it's just about analysing and actually seeing the bigger picture of, if you're patient over time, this way's profitable and this way's profitable. It's just most people don't want to be patient. They want the win now, they want the money now, and that's completely natural and understandable because that's what everyone wants. But it's taken me over 6 years to get to this point. I mean, it took me I think it was roughly 3 years to get my first payout, which was like £400. My experience with trading so far has been challenging. A lot of downs, a lot of ups, and I think it's probably made me grow as a person more than anything I've ever done before. Because I think, especially with trading, like I've said before, when it comes to the psychological part of it, it makes you really have a look at yourself and different things you've got going on in life. Because a lot of the time that can have a massive effect on your trading, or I found with me it does anyway. So if you've got any, I've found with, if I've got anything that I need to address, sleep, for example. If I'm not getting enough sleep, then I'm not going to be making the right decisions the next day when it comes to trading. Just, diet, little things like that. So I think on the whole, it's been good. It's been good to challenge myself. And then obviously I'm saying that because I've now got to this point, but to push myself in the way I have, I'm very pleased with how it's gone.
So during your learning phases of trading, did you use a community? Were you in a community?
So yes, this course I did, this guy, to be fair to him, he had a pretty decent setup. Kind of ended up screwing everyone over in the end. But before then, he had kind of Facebook chats and things like that going, like groups, and they were quite good. They were quite helpful, kind of in a similar way that with you guys with with the leaderboard stuff. You can see other people and what they're. With you guys with the leaderboards, you can see how successful they're being. With those chats, it was more seeing how they were getting on, what they were finding, what they were complaining about. So some tools like that, but on the whole, I do think that it would have been at the time, especially when I started, nicer to have more of those kind of things, because it's quite, as I say, it's quite a lonely process going through Learners to Trade, and especially around here, because nobody does this sort of thing. So you can't really, you've got no one to bounce or any ideas off of, or kind of get any tips or advice from. So I think those kind of discords and things like that are quite helpful. I just didn't have that at the time when I started, which is a shame. But
So would you recommend it to traders?
yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend it. I think they're just really important. Not just in terms of, because it will help potentially find any weaknesses that you haven't thought about. But also you get to meet new people, and that's all part of it as well. And I think that's really important. You build like a sense of community with the people who are also in the same position as you, because I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, I can't really talk to people about economics or, these kind of things, because they don't have an interest in it. Whereas actually on these kind of chats, everybody's in the same boat. So it's nice.
So how do you think the simulated capital and guardrails we have in place affect your trading, your journey?
Oh, I'll give you an honest answer for one of them. I don't like the 40% rule, but I understand it. I think it makes complete sense if you're somebody who's trading more high frequency and on a daily basis. It makes you have to actually have a strategy and actually think everything through and have a way of working and a trading plan and be disciplined. It's especially the two phase. I said this to Dylan. I understand the one phase because the pass rate is so much lower for two phases, but I think that especially for me as a trend trader, you can get a really good wave on the first, to pass a valuation, and then you can fail the account straight away afterwards because that trend's come to an end. And if you're still chasing the same market and you haven't kind of wait for the pullback, wait for the correction, then you're going to fail. And then I don't know if that's shown in the numbers, but that's what was happening to me a lot at the start. And then it made me adjust and improve my strategy and get better and better. So they can be frustrating, the rules, but they're there for a reason. Actually, they are there to make you better. It just means it's just going to take longer, but this isn't meant to be easy.
So what would have happened to your journey if you didn't have those guardrails?
If I didn't have the guardrails, it would have taken me a lot longer to get more disciplined, to get more efficient in my strategies, because every time I would fail one, I'd have a day or two, I'd take a break, and then I'd turn around and go, right, okay, what's the problem with this? Why did that fail? Why is my strategy got more of a drawdown than I'm, allowed to have? And often it was because I was trading too much or too many markets and things like that. And then all that did is really help me improve. It frustrated me a lot, obviously, at the time, but it just helped me improve my strategy. I started off trading 13 different currency pairs, and including gold and silver, and now I trade 5, and I won't trade any more than that. And I have a rule where I won't put more than one trade a day on, because then it just allows me that time to think and actually also to find the best trade within that. I don't want to just put on any trade. I want to put on the right trade.
Obviously, you've spoken a lot about psychology. I want to lastly drill down like what your process is to remain so psychologically resilient. Because obviously your win rate's 44%. Not a lot of people can deal with that. So what's your process of just keeping that psychological resilience? Like, can you drill down on that?
Well, I think again, part of it is because I have a strategy that's not high frequency, so it allows me time. which is really important. And I can then use that time to look at what I'm doing in terms of trading and actually see if these are the right trades. If I've got a few different ones I could put on in a day, what one's the right trade? Why is it the right trade? I've got like a trading plan, which is really important. It helps me stay disciplined, which is, I mean, that's a huge part of the psychology, is staying disciplined. And it all kind of fits into one, really, because you've got the back testing, so you've got the confidence to know that the system that you've back tested, these are the results, this is how it's gotten in the past, so you know it works. So that gives, you know, that really helps with the psychology. And then if you put together a trading plan and are disciplined and you stick to that trading plan, then that helps with the psychology. And actually, even when you go off trading plan, which especially at the start, everybody does, like, you know, especially when you haven't got your emotions in check, that also then helps, because when you then blow an account or you lose a couple of trades because you've gone out of your strategy, you can then turn around and go, actually, why has that happened? Oh, it's because I didn't follow a strategy. And it just kind of reinforces how important that is. So I'd say that's a massive part of keeping my psychology. And then the other thing is just taking care of myself. I think, like, you know, making sure you're sleeping well enough and eating the right things, and just, you know, you got to fuel this, you know, engine that you have to the best you can. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to run smoothly. Like, you know, I've been through a lot of different stuff, especially in my early 20s, where I was burning the candle at both ends and ended up in a not great situation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dylan's on the phone for me. So you just need to hold it up so that you can hear him.
Hello, Dylan, you all right?
You there?
Thomas, how you doing, man?
Yeah, really good, thank you. How are you?
Great. I'm doing awesome. I just wanted to check in and see how your day was with the team, and
Yeah,
how'd you like the boys?
Yeah, it's been really good, actually. I was obviously a little bit nervous beforehand, but it's been great. They've all been fantastic, and yeah, just it's gone really well. Having a nice pint now, so perfect day, really.
That's amazing to hear. I'm glad you guys are celebrating and having a good time. Hey, I wanted to just do something. I just had a thought. I was thinking about this last night. I don't have any of the details worked out now, but I think I want to create a program around you and what you've accomplished. I think I want to call it E8 Legends, an E8 Legends account. So I don't know the details, but I'm thinking you get direct access to me. You already got my number. We set up the risk parameters. We set up custom account types that you're able to trade at E8 as long as you're able to maintain the risk. And I think we could think up something pretty special together. So we take you out of that, you know, normal E8 sim performance account you're trading, and we set something completely custom up based on what risk parameters you want, what drawdowns you want, and we'll figure out a cool little program together if you're up to it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd be up for. Yeah, I've got a few ideas, so I'd happily sit down and have a conversation with you about that.
Love it. I'm open ears. So I'll reach out to you this week, and we'll get on a call together. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, that sounds great. Looking
Awesome,
forward to
man.
it.
Glad you guys are having a good time. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate
All
that.
right. See ya.
Yeah, speak to you soon.
Great. Awesome.
Fuck yeah!
That's great, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's amazing. Happy?
Yes, very happy.
Good day?
Yes, thank you
Amazing,
very
man.
much.
It's been such a pleasure.
Very
Thank
good
you
day.
so much. Great. Now go and enjoy your pint.
And
Leave
thank
these
you
guys
for all
alone.
you guys as well. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, guys. Okay, bye.
See ya.
Yeah, you can have a pint now.
So, Tom, we've just had notification that the payment has now been sent to your account. So if you want to check your email and see if it's been sent.
I was going to ask you about that at some point.
Just waiting all day. You want to check your email. It should be in your account now.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
mate? You all right?
Hey Tom, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to give you a call and say thank you for all the time that you've given us today. It's been a really great day. I know it's late, but I had a thought. We've got a event in Prague that's the first ever E8 Live Lounge. So it's a really exclusive event that we're not offering too many people to come. But I'd really love to invite you to come out and join us and maybe speak and be part of the day.
Oh wow. Yeah. When is it?
It's in 2 weeks' time, so at the end of the month.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Look, I think like your journey is amazing, and I'm really glad that we've had the chance to come and capture it with you. But it's a great opportunity to speak to other traders and just showcase. Everybody's been through the same journey, and I'm sure that they'll be grateful to talk to you as well. So it's a good chance for you to sort of give something back and share with the community a little bit if you're happy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've said to you before, like I don't really have that many people down here, so it's been a bit of a lonely road. So to be able to meet other people and actually converse with them and share some stories, which I imagine will be pretty similar, that would be I'm more than happy to do that. Sounds great.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm really glad to hear that, and I will message you and I'll sort out the details with you.
Yeah, that's all right. I look forward to hearing from you.
Great. I'll see you in Prague.